Alright, so this will be a video about track mode. The last video that I did on modes was 2 days ago, and that was on sport mode. And then the next day, which was yesterday, yesterday's video, I did a recap on sport mode. I talked more about it. So we're gonna jump on a highway. I'm in track mode. I talked about sport mode and its attributes, and I'm gonna talk about track mode and its attributes. So we're gonna go right into track right now. You just take this off and put track on, and we're in full track. So transmissions in track, traction, suspension, and steering all the way down in track, and paddle shifters are on. So when you are in track, you are in the middle when it comes to traction. So as far as it being off. In the sport mode video, I spoke to you about how close sport mode's traction is to being off. So it's closer to being off when you're in sport mode compared to track. So we're in track right now, and exactly what the word is, track. It's almost like they want you to feel like you're going to the track. So they want you to be nailed down. They don't want you sliding around a lot. So let me just hit vent so we can get some sounds coming in. And you know, I said it in the last video, people always think track mode is the most dangerous mode, but yes, it does shift the hardest, and yes, it does it's extremely violent, and it shifts the fastest, but it is not as dangerous as sport mode. Now sport mode is a lot more dangerous because of the traction. So jumping on the highway, and we just hit it. Let off a little bit, closing in on traffic. But once we get to a particular spot where I can kind of give you a little bit more of an open, full throttle, you'll hear it. Like I said, I got vent up. But when you're in track mode, you're gonna feel the car be the most violent as far as the shifts. The shifts are violent. Every shift is like a punch. I've said it before in videos in the past. It's like a punch in the chest every time you shift on this car, or every time this car shifts. So you just have to realize that your traction is slightly off. You still have to be careful, but your traction is not as off as it is in sport mode. So here we go. Also, you can feel the road, everything. You can feel the road real bumpy like. Get off right here. Track mode will get up and go on you in a heartbeat. Incredible mode to be in. So look back around right here on the highway. Actually, gotta stop at this Shell gas station soon. Gotta remember it's here. So let's see. Little underpass. Pushes you back in your seat. And let me tell you something. It goes. So once you get on it, let me tell you something, it moves. And of course, just my luck, there's pretty much a sheriff to the left. This truck just slowed down. He already knew what was about to happen. So let's see what happens. So when you're on this car aggressively in track mode, you'll see that it wants to behave like, you know, something out of a cage, right? It's just a wild animal. Let me get off because I can't really do what I want to do with this guy in front of me. So on a curve, here's track mode. It will drift on you just a little bit, not as much as sport, but let you see it. Let me just make sure now the whole gets up. And I went around with ease at a pretty solid speed. So we'll go back around and jump back on the highway. But I do want to check out that Shell gas station. That's where I go Shell. But just so you can kind of hear it as we loop back around, I will get on it a little bit. So my actual track settings in custom, I have suspension in street so it can be a lot softer, but I'm in full track mode just for sakes of this video. Just a quick tap. Of course, these Brembo brakes are next level. You just barely get on them. It starts bringing this car down. Video in my garage, let's just see. So I'm trying to get back on the highway right now with clarity. So I get on quick and then jump back off. But super aggressive in track, and here we are. Not even the best day to do this. 93 degrees. So of course my engine will get slightly heat soaked on a day where it's extremely warm and harbor performance. So you know, I will be robbed of some performance just a little bit on a day like this, but I may have to redo this video on a day where it's cooler, you know, which is coming up soon, so I can really give you guys the full sounds of track, where this car is really going to sound opened up and loud because, you know, it's fallout. But right now, yeah, I want to go over there, but I'll just stick with this. So like I said, track mode, extremely aggressive. One of my all-time favorite modes. And we'll pick back up in a minute. All right, so backing into my garage. Let me just get the car set up to look a certain way so we can talk better. All right, so track mode is very violent. Traction is right in the middle. You just gotta make sure when you're in track mode, you know it's gonna be extremely violent. And yes, you still gotta be careful. It is not as slippery as sport mode, but you still gotta be careful. So that is going to do it for this upload. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.